Hey everyone, welcome to Redmen TV. Going to bring you a clip from our Journo Insight show where me and Neil Jones discuss the January transfer window, what Liverpool might not and should do. If you want to check out this show in full, simply head on over to redmenplus.com. If you sign up as a monthly captain using the promo code CLOP, you'll get your first month completely free. Go and check it out for nothing, in full, the Journo Insight show and all our other amazing great content. Right, let's get to me and Neil. Might as well have a big chat about January, a little primer, Neil. I think that's the best way to do this one at the moment. Is what are we expecting? Are you expecting a quiet month? There's been a few reports out there from various people, not expect too much. Is that your general sense of it as well?
Well, yeah, I don't think it'll be one of them where they're going to see loads of signings or loads of sort of offers made, for players. But Liverpool have shown that if there's an opportunity, they'll explore it. And I think, like I say, circumstances will dictate a little bit over the next few weeks. They're not, I wouldn't say they're on the tightrope, but they're not far away from being in a position where you go, that might have left us short. Whether it was a Van Dijk injury or a Trent injury, a Joe Gomez injury, that has the potential to change things. McAllister, imagine they were to lose him in the next week or two. So there is that potential. I think it's more a case of if there's a player that Liverpool have had their eye on for some time and there's an opportunity to do it now, then that'll be what they would do, as opposed to right, the window's open, we need to go and find someone. I don't think it's in that position. Obviously you've written underneath on the do you think they should be in the market? I do think they should be in the market. I think they should let Nat Phillips go, and I think they should buy a centre back. Yeah. But I don't think they're sort of thinking like that. I think they're more thinking, well, we don't just need to buy a centre back. Yeah, if we can get centre back A, which is the one we want anyway, then we will, or we'll try. But I think they should be giving themselves the best possible chance for winning a lot. They could potentially win a lot this season, and I think buying another player that just alleviates some of the pressure in the second half of the season in that position would really help.
I suppose we saw Liverpool haven't been averse to doing January deals. Gakpo, Diaz, Minamino, Van Dijk, these are all in the club here in the last 5 years or so. They have been willing to do it. A lot of them felt like players who they had half an eye on anyway. Even Van Dijk was a bit later than usual. Gakpo and Diaz brought forward maybe competition from other teams.
Minamino was an opportunity. Minamino had the release clause and was seen as a bargain. Why not?
Exactly. I'm just thinking because obviously the Joel Matip piece is key in this. I think it all ties together. And that Joel Matip's injured, he's not going to play again this season. He's out of contract. You would like to think Liverpool have had all the ducks in a row, know what their plans were going forward. Whether or not the intent is to offer Joel a contract, he might not have signed it. So they obviously had to have something there, in plans in place for going forward. It feels like maybe if that person, whoever he is, left, whether it's a left back / centre back, whatever they are, if that person is available, maybe that's something that they might explore. But it's again, we're hearing a lot of names about, but it doesn't feel like anything too concrete at the moment.
No, and Jürgen said it himself, didn't he? He said people aren't queuing up to give away centre backs in January. Top centre backs, and he made that point. It has to be a top centre back. It can't just be someone who's played centre back before. It has to be someone who's capable of playing for Liverpool, and we've seen them. It's not easy. That's why everyone's been so impressed by Jarell Kwanzaa, because we know it's not easy. We've seen Reece Williams come in, Nat Phillips come in, and you can see the difference. You can see that as game as they are and as talented as they are in their own way and their attributes, it's still a level up to play centre back for Liverpool. So, of course, if the player or one of the players that they've identified for the long term is available, whoever it is, whether it's Hincapié or Ignacio or Mark Gay, whoever, then yeah, but that's an if. That's a big if. The Crystal Palace would just say in the middle of the season, yeah, go ahead, take him. And we'll give you a good deal as well. It's either going to cost a lot or it's going to be very difficult or impossible to get them out. So I think it's a watch and wait really, as opposed to us. Liverpool really sort of spreading their net wide and saying, which is the centre back we're going to get. They'll know roughly who they want or what type of player they want, but whether they're available now is less less likely, a lot less likely.
Yeah, I suppose the Iheanacho one's the only one where that one's probably a release clause involved. A lot of these.
Yeah, but he's a left-sided centre back.
Yeah.
So, that if Virgil's injured for the season, then you go, okay, well there you go. But he's not. So you bring him in, and you've got two left-sided centre backs, both one's 75 million, one's 60 million. You're thinking, okay, one of them's either going to play off there, or we're not going to play one of them, and it's not going to be Virgil. So that's another consideration. The thing about Matip is obviously it frees up a space in the squad. It frees up space in the Europa League squad, so you can fit in a new sign. There's no problem there, but it's just which is the player, and who, how much does he cost? What's the availability? What's the chance of getting him in January? And also the biggest one really is who's available. Come the end of the month. If Robertson's back, you've got all of these centre backs available. You've got four centre backs. Then with one of them being obviously a full back cover, you might have Nat Phillips just around the squad. You're sort of like, well, we're not in that bad shape, but it could be the opposite. It could be one where you go, we've only got two centre backs standing here, and Joe Gomez is playing left back. Yeah. Trent's got to be dipped in and out. Conor Bradley's maybe not ready to play Premier League games or whatever. Although I think Conor Bradley's actually at a decent level. That the circumstances dictate then.
I suppose as well, it's and you mentioned it before, it's like the frustration can be sometimes like, just go and buy someone because we really want to win this league and we're top of it, and we probably weren't expecting ourselves to be, but we found ourselves here, and we've lost our first choice centre back, and the next guy is being looked after. He's been injured and they're dipping him in and out. Now Jarell Quansah has helped ease that burden because he's been brilliant, and Joe Gomez has been a revelation this season at full back, because I was ready to, I was ready to say see you later to Joe, like, if they wanted to. So they have got some cover. It's not as dire yet, but do you think it is because like the nervousness of we've been here before, and February 1st a couple of years ago, Ozan Kabak and Ben Davies are getting rushed in at the last minute because the injury situation. That's always the nagging doubt in the back of your mind, isn't it? It's like, is there someone you can get now and just box yourselves off? But there's a difference,
because the reason Kabak and Davies was so bad was that situation was there on the 1st of January, and Liverpool waited till I think it was actually the 1st of February when they signed them. So that you knew that was like you've wasted a month sort of umming and ahhing or trying to wing it, and then you've ended up with Ozan Kabak and Ben Davies.
Arthur was the same, wasn't he? When we don't need the midfield, and then Jürgen came out. We did.
That's another good example, of course. So that the frustration, the situation isn't there at the moment. Liverpool are playing well, top of the league, and are putting out two strong centre backs every game, a strong back four every game. So you're not in a position where you're like, well, just like, can't you see it? Can't you see the so this is a little bit more sort of insurance policy signing, a bit like Diaz. I think obviously everyone wants signings every transfer window, but I don't think it was one of them where it was like, if you don't sign a left-sided forward in 2022, that's the end of your sort of your hopes of anything. I think people just saw it as that's a lovely little bonus. Obviously they tried to sign Carvalho at the same time, didn't they? This is a little bit more like it's sort of, you could really potentially make a big difference to your ambitions, your ability to rotate in certain games.
Diaz was that, wasn't he, for sure?
Oh yeah, Diaz. Liverpool didn't win the big ones after Diaz came in, but he was man of the match in two finals, and he started the third final.
Wins them a Champions League semi-final.
Yeah, he come off the bench and saved them over in Villarreal. So yeah, he had a big impact. Yep. And conversely, he probably had a big impact on Mane's form as well. Mane moved into the middle and he freed up that kind of option. You could get that again, couldn't you? You bring him in, you've got that option that you only play Canate once a week. You can sort of rest him out. You can play Joe Gomez at right back and move Trent into midfield. It just gives you a few more little bits to work with. I think you said, obviously, is it because we've been here before? It is, but I think it's also that people are starting to wake up now to the prospect that it'd be a really tough one to win on Sunday, but okay, there's a treble on, there's a quadruple on if you beat Arsenal. You're like, wow, you've got Fulham over two legs to get to a final. There's one that's really possible to win. Favourites for the Europa League, it'll take a good side to beat Liverpool over 2 legs or in a final. Very good side, and I don't see too many of them in the Europa League. And the top of the Premier League after 20 games, I think that's where people are going, give yourself the best possible chance to do it. It might not come around again. We've seen how quickly you can fall away from that position to sort of, say, the also rans, they were still 5th. But that's, I think, what brings people into this conversation a bit more, sort of, come on, go and give yourself the best possible chance. There'll be people, we're only talking about centre-backs, there's probably people who say, well, go and get number 6, go and get a holding midfielder, because Endo's away till the middle of February. Endo's been playing really well. You've got McAllister. Would McAllister be better further forward anyway? What if he gets injured? Can he play every single game? Is there a possibility to do that? I can see why people are in that position. I don't think Liverpool will buy a midfielder personally.
Okay.
I think they're more likely to buy a centre back, but I can fully get on board with why people think they should, and why people think it could be the difference. And I can also, to be the devil's advocate, I can also see why people say, well, it doesn't automatically do it. Arsenal went and signed Jorginho last year, and it was seen as a masterstroke to get this experienced player in, and he didn't win the league. And Jorginho doesn't have a great impact on the squad now. So it doesn't make it isn't the game changer, but it could be. It definitely could be from a Liverpool point of view.
Absolutely. What's your expectations then? Again, this is just not on information, but like guesswork. Like I keep saying I'm of the feeling I don't think they will, but if they do, they might get a defender. It's kind of like one of those kind of situations.
I would, hedge me bets. I would say 60-40. They won't do anything. Providing the situation stays as it is, you don't get any season-ending injuries or long-term injuries. I think the left-back one, people are talking about.
You can't sign a left-back.
I don't think you can sign a left-back, a specialist left-back, senior one.
You can't have 3 in your squad, can you? That's mad.
You can't. No, exactly. You'd have one of them that doesn't get on the bench. Then, Tsimikas has got a contract. Robertson's obviously first choice. And Gomez has been brilliant. So it's not. You've actually got 3 left backs in your squads if you want to look at it that way. I would say if it stays status quo and everything goes as it is, no. But if you were to lose a Kanate for 2 months, or a Van Dijk, or even a Quansah, then I think it opens itself to you probably should. Yeah,
and these surprises in the past, like I say, the Diaz one was relatively out of nowhere. The Gakpo one was mad that we had no midfield in the world and we just went and signed the left winger. Like they do mad stuff, and they have shown in January. Everybody says like we don't buy in January. They've shown a willingness to do it. They absolutely do it. It'll just be, they're not just going to panic. I think they learned the lesson. I say learn the lesson, but they got knocked out of Kabak and Ben Davies in it, and
Arthur,
and it looks aesthetically, looks a bit panicky and looks a bit mad. I think you're better off just trusting what you've got a little bit. But
it doesn't work. Liverpool have shown it doesn't work for them when they get someone, when they go and get someone, when it's and we've all been guilty of. I've said it plenty of times. Just get a body in, but it doesn't work because they can get injured if they're not ready, if they're not up to speed. I mean, that season when they brought Kabak and Davies in, both of them ended up injured. Davis didn't play a minute. Kabak played a few games, but he ended the season injured. It was, so it doesn't solve an injury crisis to buy a player that's got the potential to get injured if they haven't been playing a lot of football, if they're not used to the intensity, if they're maybe not at the level. But of course, there are the players that can make the difference out there. It's just whether Liverpool can get them or think it's worth getting them now.
Yes, absolutely. And we saw even back in the summer, we saw with the Endo thing, things can move very, very quickly, as well. Like I was at home on Wednesday night at like 9 o'clock, and all of a sudden this Endo fella's on his way to Liverpool. Like, things can change quickly. So
and fair play to him. He's turned out to be a more than useful addition, considering that maybe what he was compared to expectations, in terms of the sign. He's been excellent.
Yeah, he said himself, didn't he? We got lucky not getting the ones we wanted. He said that himself.
Yeah, he said on the pitch, didn't he, at Anfield? How glad we are that it worked out this way. And good luck. We should probably say this now, but good luck to him and to Mo. They're going away. How desperate Salah is to win that AFCON. He's had.
He wants that Ballon d'Or so bad, doesn't he?
Again, left out of the FIFA Pro 23-man shortlist. The players who were picked were pretty good, but you still look at it and go, where's Salah there? Come on.
Alisson as well, probably similar.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, good luck to him, but good luck to Endo as well. favourites for the Asia Cup, captain of Japan, could be coming back with a medal round his neck in February, and you know what a 6 months that'd be for him, you know, considering where he was preparing for potentially a season of slog with Stuttgart.
You can have the Ballon d'Or instead. Japan win the Asia Cup and Liverpool win the quad.
Absolutely. Cult hero, I think.
Get Enzo in the Ballon d'Or list. Yeah, but yeah, keep an eye obviously on the channel throughout the window. We'll keep updated with everything we can around the transfer window. Hey, thank you so much for checking out the content today. If you want to get your name in and amongst these wonderful people, then head to redmenplus.com. Join as a legend tier subscriber. You're going to get free merchandise codes. You're going to get in our Discord, and you're going to get your name at the end of YouTube videos. Yes, redmenplus.com, legend tier status.